have to go anywhere because this is the Talk Beat Jones. All right, this is the Talk Beat Jones, and again, I am Billy E. Jones. I want to thank you for joining us today. Remember, we're on the air every Wednesday from 10 to 11. That's every Wednesday from 10 to 11 on TV 33 WHPR. And we invite you to, of course, join us on the R.J. Watkins page. That's the R.J. Watkins page. And you're able to watch the broadcast live, as well as being able to go back at some point and see the shows that we've done and other shows on the R.J. Watkins page. And when you're watching us live on the R.J. Watkins page, you can, of course, call in. We'll put those numbers on the air on the screen shortly so that you can see the numbers. And 313-868-4336 from wherever you are in the world. That's right, from wherever you are in the world, you can watch and you can call in and you can talk on the Talk Beat Jones. And your views, your opinions, your thoughts will be heard around the world. Don't forget also that you're able to watch us on 15.1, that's 15.1 on Sundays from 4 to 5, 15.2 on 15.2 on Sundays from 4 to 5 p.m. And you can also go to YouTube, TV33 On Demand. That's TV33 On Demand. Go to YouTube, TV33 On Demand. You can watch us at any given time once it's in the queue. And tell your friends about it so that if there's something important on the show that we do and you want them to see it, tell them to go to YouTube, TV33 On Demand, and they can watch the show. But again, right now, if you want to be a part of the program today, you can go into watching Ara J. Watkins page, and you can participate. You can call in 313-868-4336. We have 3 lines. The lines will roll over so that we can catch all of you that maybe wanted to call in. Or sometimes people keep saying, Billy, we just like to hear you talk. And today, what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk, family. There's so many things that's happening, and I'm going to just kind of freestyle today. Going to kind of freestyle and go into a few things. Some of you may have remembered me from back in the day on Soulby Television in Oakland, California. Well, back in that time when my career on television was starting to really take off, I had to come on television and make the announcement that I was going to be leaving the television style that I was doing, being promoted, being the shows that I was doing was being really hyped. They were hot, and my career looked like it was really starting to really take off. On that day, I had to come in and tell the folk that I had to move away from the microphone. I'm going to have to slow my career down. And I had to go into the process of making a decision, making a choice. Staying with my career, having to go up, 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 including my Jones Asides program that I was coming on the air, doing a live presentation of doing a workout for people all around the world who was watching Soulby Television live every day, as well as doing other things. Why? Because I had to step away to take care of my grandmother. Yes, I had to step away. I made the decision to step away to take care of my grandmother. Move in and take care of my grandmother. When I say move in, that means I had to put my even private, personal career in my lady friend, had to go and take care of my grandmother. Now, when people say, well, what do? I stay with my grandmother, stay with mother. You get another tag. But my grandmother needed me, and I was not going to have my uncle, who was the primary person that was going to be taking care of her, have to leave his family to be there to take care of my grandmother. I did it. That was the impact of my career at that point. Also, at some point, once the grandmother finally passed, and I was able to return back into the career, and that took off, became Night, KNIGHT, Night Talk Jones, late night TV show that at one point won the show of the year. But I also had a situation with my Jones Asides facility that, of course, was on television as a TV program, also having me come on the air, doing the workout for the community. For those who did not know and never was disclosed, there was an attempt on my life twice. Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir. There was an attempt on my life twice. Folks coming to my studio, attempting to take my life. Jealousy, envy, and whatever else you may have heard of, whatever. But through the grace of God and the grace of being in great condition, I was able to fight it off and survive. But I don't put it to my being in great condition and whatever else. I put it to the grace of God that I was able to survive 2 attempts on my life. The process allowed me to, when opportunity came to leave Oakland, California, to come to Detroit, that was one of the first reasons that I was able to make that decision, to come to a place that nobody understood, nobody knew me, nobody could recognize me, basically. Start a totally different life. The engineer here, Mr. Timmy Tim, is the person that I was sitting on the porch in Detroit, that with our relationship, our love of being a soulbeat working together, recognized that I could come and do some things at TV 33, picked me up off my porch, brought me to the station, and the rest is whatever it has been. Family, my career here at TV 33, WHPR, and the things I was doing and providing and getting ready to set up, took a stop, pause. Why? Because I had a friend, blind, bedbound, couldn't get out of bed, never can get out of bed, never actually moved too much, that was just about ready to be committed to the state. Folks could no longer want to be able to take care of her at her home. And the request came to me, could I be the person to be totally in charge in order to allow this person to be released from the rehab and come home, not be committed to the state in which you are there and everything you have, everything about you is gone. I had no notice, no ability to change whatever the things I was doing, the things I would come into the air and say, this is what I'm getting ready to do, this is the studio I'm building, this is that, etc. I had to drop that for a moment to make sure that I could give this person 7 days a week, 24-hour a day care. That's what I have been doing. But I want you to understand, God is good. God is good. And my dreams, the things that I still want to present to you, have never wilted, never faltered. But I've had to place them on pause. Even the things I've been able to do at the studio, once again, I've had to put them on pause. But again, family, I say God is good, been good to me. My personal life has taken a definite, total turnaround to down into the abyss. Folks can understand when you have to make that type of a commitment, 7 days a week, 24 hours a day almost. You need a different type of understanding. And when that happens, and it can't happen, the love just dissipates. And it's okay. It's okay. Because sometimes you have to do what you have to do. And my father took care of my mother, never had to be put into a center, a place. He took care of it home all the way till she took her last breath. I understood that. I learned that. So that's where I come from. And I couldn't let my friend be put away. So that is what I'm doing right now. I'm taking care of a person who needed me, who needs me. And as you go in your life, there will be folks that as they age, as they move along, that they will need you, and you'll have decisions that you'll have to make. And mine is sometimes business, which I love, had to kind of take a sidestep. But it's okay, because God says you continue to dream, you continue to prepare. And that's what I've continued to do. And some of you have gone to my page, or some persons may have been able to see something I've done in which you saw I brought a person to my place so that I can set things up to come to you live, not just from TV 33, but to come to you in some ventures that I'm putting together that you're going to be able to watch and participate and work with me on. So I come to you today to say this. Don't ever count Billy E. Jones out because time has gone by and things that we said we were going to do hadn't happened yet. God has given me the strength. God has given me the energy. God has given me the vision to continue to be able to do what I have to do in taking care of this person who is totally blind, who is totally bedbound, can't move. And I'm not going to abandon that person, but I'm not going to abandon the things that I've told you, family, that I'm going to make happen. So again, some of you saw me hiring a person to come to my place to show me how to assemble and put all these things together, because it's going to happen soon. And right now, as we look out and we see what's happening throughout the world, and our world is the United States of America at this point, and I've gone to the perspective that I was not going to be into the political perspective, because if folks have listened through me over the years, back in the day when people were saying, Trump is gone, Trump is gone, I told them Trump is not gone. Trump will be sitting back getting all his people with all the money and setting up a plan for how to come back and how to make it greater, better than it's ever been. I had discussions, I had disputes, I had debates on television about that and the vision that I told them that was going to happen. And they wrote and they talked. They wrote songs about it. They wrote raps about it. And the person that was my co-person politically, and I would get into it over the airways because they were so convinced that it was not going to happen. And I told them, as I spoke, and it's in my video archived, what was going to happen and how it was going to happen. And I won't go into it. But as we look at today, and as I sit here with you in 2025, that I spoke of way back in the day is coming to pass. Yes, it's coming to pass. I won't go into this or that, but I'll say to you this, family. You that have loved ones, you that have people that you care for, you that are in need of medical care, you that have family members and yourself that are hungry, but you've been doing okay because you've had assistance. You've had government assistance. You've been able to do your family all right because you've been having government assistance. Need to look at your third eye. You better need to look at your third eye as to how you're going to make it. how you're going to make the adjustments. And yes, everything is about making an adjustment. So as we listen to what they're talking about on the news, and as they talk about the big beautiful bill and the implications of what's going to happen, for those of you who are fragile in the mind, for those of you who are easy to get depressed, for those of you who are easy to be fearful, everything has its course. Everything has its course. And all we need to do, you need to do, is make the adjustment. Just make the adjustment, because God always provides a way for us, you and I, to make the adjustments and be okay. They say only the strong survive. It's not just the strong, the wise folk, the folk who understand it's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. No matter how hard it gets, it's going to be okay if you make the adjustment. That's all it is. We just have to be able to make the adjustment. You say, Billy, how can you feel that way? I'm a son of a man that died. That died, family. Sometimes we talk about people and they say it's going to be better in the afterlife. And we'll say, I don't know how you can say that because I don't know nobody who's been there. My father was dead 15 to 20 minutes. Dead. Gone. Before he was able to be, to our terms, brought back to life. My father came back, have no effects. 93 years of age. Sharp, never had no assistance, nothing. Folk in Detroit, when I was hot on television, doing television here 5 and 6 days a week, all of a sudden they looked up and there was no Billy Jones. No disclaimer, no excuse, no I'm gonna, just no Billy Jones for almost 7 to 8 months. Because my father, my mother, my family needed me. And because God placed me in a position in life where I do what I need to do when I choose to make a decision. And my decision was to leave Detroit, go back home, in which I had not been back home in years, to go to my father and my mother home and stay there, to be with my mother and my father for almost 7 to 8 months. Not partying, not any of this, oh, I'm back home, y'all. Not making phone calls to folk, but staying silent to be just with my mother and my father. And I did that. And none of the folks that was working with me, dealing with me, that depended on me ever called and said, when are you coming back? The only call I got from Mr. R.J. Watkins, Mr. Henry Tyler, Mr. J.D. Hill, Malik Shabazz, was always strictly, How's your dad doing? You all right? Nothing but love. And on a date that my plane landed, that very same morning, after being gone for 7 to 8 months, I was back on the air that morning. So everything, family, as I state, is an adjustment. It's an adjustment. You stay positive. You stay with God's gift, and that's you. It's going to be all right. It's going to be all right. So let the big, beautiful bill do whatever the big, beautiful bill is going to do. But don't get despondent. Don't get depressed. Don't get fearful. Don't drop your head and say, "Oh, Lord, are you forsaking me?" No, it's not that way. We're going to make that adjustment. Keep your head up high. Keep your stride strong. Keep your back up, because it's going to be all right. You know, and as we continue in life, you know, let us revisit just for a moment here. Let's revisit just for a moment here. And if I touch on something that hits you, those who are listening to me from anywhere in the world, because this thing called COVID hit everywhere. This thing called COVID, this disease, this epidemic, COVID, hit everywhere. How many of you that's listening right today are still dealing with the after effects of COVID? They call it the long haul effects of COVID. Now that's those persons who are still living and breathing. How many of us, you and I, had COVID come and change how our lives had been established? How many of you lost important loves in your lives? Now, I know many of us lost mothers, fathers, brothers, sisters, family members, and friends. But how many of us lost the loves of our lives, our companion, our mate, that we had built a life with, a life that was good? It didn't matter what was happening outside the door, because our mate, our companion, made it good inside the door. How many had the love of their lives taken from them? How many of you had your love person taken out of your life? The person that you searched to finally found that you got somebody that you could trust, somebody that could love you the way that you love them, someone that had an equal mindset about life, about what it was like to be and what it meant to be in love, and join together in the head, the thinking process. How many of us, you, lost that person? How many of us, you, lost a person and you were in your 50s, 60s, 70s, when you were feeling that the other part of your life was going to be all right? that you'd know that you didn't have to go out looking no more. Everything was great. You felt great. You felt your life was complete. And COVID took that person from you. Not another man, not another woman, but COVID. How are you surviving now? What is your life like now? Have you ever been able to replace that love? Have you ever been able to open your heart to find someone that can love you the way that you and your companion had it together? How many nights, how many days, how many years now have in your mind that you're all alone? Because every time you step your toe out the door trying to see, trying to think, trying to find if there's someone, and you find nothing but a disappointment. How many of you find yourself in that position? And the years continue to go by, so that those of you who are starting to become in the midpoint of your life, now you're starting to get on the other side of that midpoint, and you're still alone. How many are you in that position? What do? You make the adjustment. I think it's getting time for me to go to that break time. And when I come back, again, family, I'm going to put the telephone lines on the air. So no matter where you are, you remember you're with the Talk B. Jones, and I am Billy E. Jones. And remember, we come on the air every Wednesday. We're on the air every Wednesday on TV 33 WHPR. We're on the R.J. Watkins page where you can see us and you can watch us live. You can participate. We give you the numbers where you can call in. And again, people say, well, Billy, we like to hear you talk. But you're able to participate. You can also go to 15.2 on Sundays. You can watch the program on 15.2 from 4 to 5 on Sundays. You can go to YouTube, TV 33, on demand, and you can watch the programs from now on. Whether it's this year, whether it's 10 years from here, you're able to watch the show and maybe hear the comment that you may have made. But again, we love you, we respect you, and we listen to what you're saying, and to the folk that as I'm walking around to show you the effect of the program, as I'm walking around going to some of the marketplaces, I find people walking up to me, especially if they hear me speak, and they'll say, I see you. You're that talk guy. I watch your show. And I'll say to them, which is why I say to you what I do. And I'll ask the question, have you called in? Or do you think you want to call in? And they all have said to me, man, we just like to hear you talk. We like the way that you engage. And I love it. And I appreciate it. And yes, if you happen to be one of those folk who've engaged me in person, I want to let you know You made my heart feel good to know that I'm doing something good for you. And for those persons who, again, as I stated, years and years ago, they didn't know how to have a conversation when there was a dispute, but would listen to Talk Beat Jones, my guest, and folks that was calling in and was able to do their opinion that may not have been the same opinion that I may have had or my guest may have had, but they were able to listen how we talked it out. And not hollering, not cussing, not fighting, not pointing the finger, but how we was able to speak and be respectful so that everybody have an opinion that they could feel good with. And that's what I say to you. If you have an opinion, you have a thought, and if you ever want to put it out here, it don't have to be with what my guest is saying. It don't have to be something that you think is going to please me. It don't have to be something you think is going to necessarily please all of the folk in the audience. But you can just remember one thing. There's somebody that may agree with you when you call in and express yourself on the Talk Beat Jones. So family, we're going to prepare to take a commercial break. And to family members who are listening to me live, I'll talk to you during the commercial break. But family, once again, this is your Talk Beat Jones. Again, I am Billy E. Jones, and we'll be back after the commercial announcements on the Talk Beat Jones.
You don't have to go anywhere because this is the Talk Beat Jones.
Justice for Mario Willis. Truth. Facts. Evidence. Matter. Log into justiceformariowillis.com. Read for yourself.
Muscles, joints, or feet tired, achy, or distressed? Tried everything? Ringmaster Rubbing Oil is a vintage topical pain reliever, trusted for over 70 years, with a rich formula for the treatment of stubborn aches and pains. Packaged in a glass bottle for purity, our liquid can also be used in warm water for foot soaks and compresses. A little goes a long way. Try our time-tested formula, available in several sizes.
Make a donation to WHBR-TV and receive two 2-ounce bottles of Ringmaster Rubbing Oil for $25. Call 313-868-6612.
Arrested? You have the right to remain silent. Everything you say can and will be held against you. Don't talk to the police. Talk to me first, Attorney Warren E. McAlpine from the Action Attorney Center. I know the law and I know your rights. Whether felony, misdemeanor, drug, OWI, domestic violence, or traffic violation, I can help you. Call today, Warren E. McAlpine, 1-888-292-6908.
Clean up on aisle 5. Sounds like my life right now. Just one big mess.
What's going on?
It's my property taxes.
What?
I am behind and I am so worried that I'm going to lose my house. I can pay some of it, but I can't pay it all at once.
Sorry to interrupt. I'm Eric Sabree, the Wayne County Treasurer. The last thing I want is for anyone to lose their property to tax foreclosure. We have assistance programs to help.
For more information, go to treasurer.waynecounty.com.
We're here to help.
You don't have to go anywhere because this is the Talk Beat Jones.
All right. Once again, family, this is the Talk Beat Jones. Again, I am Billy E. Jones, and thank you for watching. Thank you for being a part of us, and please share the program. Remember, you can go to the R.J. Watkins page, and you can watch the program live. And when you do that, if you choose to, you can call in, and you can share the information. You can talk about what it is that you want to talk about. If there's something you want to switch over to, you can do that. I'm freelancing today because things were just heavy on my heart to just come in and talk to you. You can also call me at 313-868-4336. And if there's something that you want to share, if you want to share some of your experiences in life, you can do that on the Talk Beat Jones. Again, watch us on the R.J. Watkins page live. You can go to the YouTube TV33 on demand. You can also go to 15.2 on Sundays from 4 to 5. You can watch the program there. And remember, we're live here on Wednesdays from 10 to 11. And again, family, we just love you so much. We just appreciate you so much. And I just felt that I needed to come in and talk and just explain, as people are feeling the effect of the politics of what's going on. And when you get caught into life-changing situations, and that's where we are. That's where we are now. We're going through life-changing situations, places that was put in place constitutionally and through the years put in place by the government so that you had an agency that could provide you help and understanding how you can make your life greater, better, how you can provide help and protection for your family, how you could actually have a situation to give you protection when all of those agencies are being stripped. All of those places that you could go for help are being stripped, no longer to be in existence. So what was in place for you as you grew up will not be available for your children and your grandchildren. That is why the crux of this conversation is about making the adjustments, because life as you have known it is being taken away. It's being taken away. The Supreme Court, as you knew it, as you could depend upon it, has been totally taken away. Yes, it's been taken away. Courts, as you've known it, are being changed, taken away. Life, as you've known it, is being changed. The rights that you've had, the folks that could fight for you to make sure your rights was kept in place, been taken away. And as in any and all circumstances or situations in America, we have to understand, before these agencies and these policies was put in place, as our grandparents, great-grandparents, and parents had to understand how to make adjustments to life. Well, the clock has been rolled back. The clock has been rolled back. And now we, us, who are parents, grandparents, starting out in life, we have to make those adjustments. And then they say, life continues, life goes on. And then potentially things will change again. But right now, let's look at what we have to deal with and keep a smile on our face, stay positive, because God has not forsaken you. God is still with you, and God is still looking over this country. So things will be greater, better for everyone as the adjustments are being made. You know, I was speaking about COVID earlier and how COVID has changed so many lives. You know, when you are aging in life, things that you found easy, they say easy come, easy go. As time moves on and as age starts to hit you, you find that it's no longer easy come, easy go. When you're looking at things in a relationship and you wonder, why is it that things are no longer the same as they had been as time has moved on? That love that you had together for so many folk, could not withstand the whispers, could not withstand the outside influences, could not withstand the influences of other folk. And then you wonder, how did it change? How did she change? How did he change? You thought it was supposed to get tighter, supposed to get greater. And it started to move away. And as time went on, you couldn't figure out how and why. They call it, well, you're getting older, she's getting older, and Mom's Mabley, for those who would never ever knew that name, because you had to be a certain age range to know that name, but she used to say, an old man can't do nothing but show me a young man. And a young man and a young woman would always say the same particulars as they got older. Because the expectations change. The eyesight change. The taste of what you like changes. And when you see that couple that have grown in life, together and stayed together and still have that's that rarity. That's what you strove for. May not have made it, but you had a chance to taste it, what it was like, what it felt like. Be grateful. Be grateful. Some folks never find that in life. That bachelor that was all that in life, coming up, going through life, still that bachelor, getting anything, everything they wanted, but still a bachelor. Or that lady, bachelorette. I can do everything by myself. I don't need nobody else. Why? Because you had the ability to be attracting other folk anyway that you could five and dime and let them go. Time catches up. And then you wonder why you are alone. When you say, man, if I just had somebody. Well, your somebody's skills are no longer there. And the things and the appetites and the way that you are and the way you think as that single person becomes unattractive now that you've gotten older. And folk can meet you, but they don't want to be with you. And now you want to be with somebody, not just be with somebody for a minute. You want to be with them. Not on the table now. So what do you have to do? You have to make the adjustment. You have to make the adjustment. It's like your job. Many of you had a job, well, not so much today, but back in the days per se, when you could look at retiring from a job. Well, just guess what? Once you retired and you went into that life in which you didn't work, didn't have that get up in the morning or get up at night and go to work and be that person labeled with that job. Now you've got 24 hours a day, 7 days a week to figure out what you're going to do that day during those hours. And the joke was, in the times past, and you can flip it however you want to flip it, but back in that time it says that when a man was working and the home was happy, but when the man stopped working and was at the home with the wife or his friend on a constant basis, suddenly the friend who was there at the house, always happy to see them when they came home from work, was now trying to say, man, I sure wish they had something to do. I can't stand them being home all the time. Can't stand them being home all the time. Things change with time. Things change with being actually very familiar on a constant basis with the person that you're with. Then you start to have not a happy home, but an existing home. So we have to make the adjustment. Life is like the movies. You have to learn your part. You really have to learn your part. But you have to expand your script. You have to expand your craft of how you're going to act. And when people say, oh, you know what? You're acting funny now. Well, you tell them, I'm still the same person I've always been. Well, could that be a problem? Could that be a problem? You have not made the adjustment of how life is now, things that are now happening. And that's why I'm bringing up to you, family, about the big, beautiful bill that is going to pass, that is going to make all of us have to make an adjustment. So your outlook on things and your expectations on things are going to happen when they say you become a certain age, this is going to be available to you. It's not going to be available, family. When you got family members who got problems, got trouble health-wise, you're going to be more responsible for their care, physically around them, with them. Make that adjustment. Make that adjustment. Prepare yourself to make that adjustment. That person that looked at you so lovingly now is just looking at you. Make the adjustment. Life is still great. Life can still go on and be all right. Just get ready to make that adjustment. Family, you've been with Talk Beat Jones again. You know, it's been a wonderful time to sometimes just come sit at the microphone and just talk and just relax and just give you some insights. But for all those folks who back in the day, 5 minutes, 10 minutes? Okay. For back in the day, when President Trump lost the election, and all them folks that was just rejoicing and just saying, oh, Trump is gone. Trump is gone. Yes, he's gone. And everything's going to be all right because Trump is gone. And I'd come to the microphone, family, and I'd say, he ain't gone. He ain't gone. He is the supreme alpha guy. And he gets his way. He gets his way. And when you put that person to make him the most powerful person in the world, and he's old, and he's a visionary into how he wants things to be, he has nothing to lose. He is not going to lose. Trump didn't go nowhere. Trump did his homework. Trump used his skills of persuasion. He gathered the greatest minds, the most money, placed them together. They put a plan in action, a plan in order, and they're carrying it out. They're carrying it out. They had a doctrine. They had an agenda, a step-by-step, an agenda to make it work. And all that you can do at this point, because they stated, as they started to put their agenda out, knowing to themselves that as we put this agenda together, yeah, it's going to hurt. Yeah, there's going to be people talking about it. Yeah, it's going to be rebellion. But guess what? All they're going to do is talk. All they're going to do is talk. News people, guess what? It gives them something to talk about every day. It gives them something to talk about every day. You're talking about the greatest gossipers in the world, it's your news folk. Because all they're going to do is talk. That keeps them something to entertain you with, is talk. And while they are just talking, the other folks, they were making the moves. And they have made the moves. And I say to you, family, just make the adjustment. Just make the adjustment. Because remember, Trump had never left. Trump may never leave. So do not state, and for those folks who said Trump is gone, you look at them and say, why did you say that? Why did you say that? Because the man is here. And some folks say he may be here to stay. This has been the Talk Beat Jones. Again, I am Billy Jones. And again, I'm here on the air with you Wednesdays from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. And of course, you can watch us live on RJ Watkins' page. And you can go to YouTube, TV33 on demand. On Sundays, go to 15.2. You can watch us from 4 to 5 on that particular date. And just remember, I have nothing but love for you. You've shown me love. And again, I want to thank my dad, who is my greatest counselor. My greatest counselor, my greatest love is my dad. Thank you, Dad. Thank you, family. I love you. See you again very soon. Peace. Share it and like it. Let the folks know you are with the Talk Beat Jones. Bye now.
You wouldn't have to go anywhere because this is the Talk Beat Jones.
Thank you.